Alert, famous reporter connected to George Soros. This is Horrifying by Ben Baker for Christian News Alerts. It's been discovered that a famous reporter has close working ties with George Soros and his agenda, which brings into question the objectivity of her reporting. According to the Washington Free Beacon, a number of Democrat politicians, liberals, and large donors, including Mr. Soros, gathered to strategize the rise of progressivism. In attendance was Washington Post reporter Janelle Ross, who was on the panel and gave a presentation during the meeting. What's concerning about Miss Ross's presence at a progressives meeting is that it was kept a secret from her employers at the Washington Post and discredits any claims of objectivity she may have as a reporter. While it's impossible for any news source to be perfectly neutral without some bias, companies like the Washington Post strive for the appearance of such objectivity. Having one of their reporters promote the progressive movement and coordinate with Democrats in secret looks bad for the newspaper. When questioned about Ms. Ross's permission to be present at the meeting, a spokesperson for the Washington Post said they didn't even know she'd be there. We've only now learned about her participation in this event, they said. They continued saying that Ms. Ross had been reprimanded for her attendance. The Washington Post policy discourages participation in any activity that could be perceived as partisan. She has been reminded of that. The meeting in question was with a number of influential Democrats and liberals hoping to spread progressivism. Ms. Ross gave a presentation in between a talk given by Mr. Soros and a talk by Senator Amy Klobuchar about Russia's interference in the 2016 election. According to the member of the panel, there were a number of talking points in this panel discussion developed by the DA's Inclusive Economy Fund. We pose some fundamental questions, including what do progressives stand for? How do we grapple with the tough issues? What story are we trying to tell, and how does it play out in communities across the country? How do we translate what the polls and research tell us into the compelling narratives that will build the public will to reorient our economy and combat inequality? They're still at level 1, I might add. One of the main discussions was how Democrats failed to acknowledge the economic concerns of the American people and how to fix that in upcoming elections, which they can't because they want a ton of illegals, which we're paying for. According to those in attendance, this was perhaps the main reason President Trump won favor with many of the states that have been struggling financially in recent years and likely resulted in his victory, you think? Interestingly, it seems at a previous meeting, Soros had given reflections about surviving authoritarian rule. Really, Mr. Soros? What a corrupt individual. He should be behind bars, perhaps referring to his Hungarian roots. At this meeting, he was supposedly there to give his assessment of progressives' efforts to thwart extremism, which they stand for, and to honor his unparalleled contributions to progressive causes in the U.S. and around the world. You mean trying to destroy it from within? According to the Washington Post spokesperson, as far as they know, Ms. Ross was there to promote a book she wrote about a liberal concern. Our understanding is that she was there solely to discuss the subject of a book she is writing independently on economic inequality, they stated. Yeah, give me a break. It's understandable that reporters have personal lives and are activists apart from their working life. Looking at Ms. Ross's most recent article titled, "There's an Important Lesson Democrats Should Learn from Election Day 2017, which claims white voters just aren't with the Democratic Party," shows that she clearly has she's clearly left-leaning. That in itself is fine. An unbiased news source needs both conservative and liberal writers to present both sides of an issue. What's concerning is that she's wielding her power and influence as a reporter for a supposedly objective newspaper to help fuel the progressive movement, and then keeping those actions secret from her employees or employers at a time when the American people are largely distrustful of mainstream media and their claims of objectivity. This clear bias of one Washington Post reporter isn't a good sign. Give me a break with all of this. Listen, she's a Soros shill. She shouldn't be there she shouldn't be working at the Washington Free Beacon, that's for sure, because if you're a shill for somebody, she went to promote her book. Does anybody really believe it? Yes, she does want to promote her book, but she actually is talking about how the Democrats also can win an election. They have nothing. They have nothing that the people need. They do not care about the people. Trump got in there to try to fix up this mess that has been made through decades, I should say. It's not only Obama. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.